Good evening and welcome to tonight's City Council meeting for the City of Covington. This meeting is hereby called to order, and I would like a roll call, please.
Councilman Lewis.
Here.
Councilman Stanga.
Here.
Councilman Roberts.
Here.
Councilman Innan.
Here.
Councilman Burrell.
Here.
Councilman Botsford.
Here.
Councilman Barrett.
Here. If we can all rise for a brief moment of silence. And would Councilman Larry Rowling please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? And speaking of Councilman Rowling, we have him as our first appearer. It is always nice to have graduates of the Covington City Council return.
Appreciate that.
Councilman Botsford has you down as the sponsor. Would Councilman Botsford like to say a few words?
Yeah, it's just, Larry's going to talk about the crew of Boga Flyer tonight.
That is correct.
He has many known names. He's the sign man.
Yes.
He's the councilman of
Yes.
Covington.
Yes.
Now he's parish councilman.
Yes.
And now he's the official Carnival of Covington, crew of Boga Flyer,
Yes.
Mr. Mardi Gras himself,
Ah, I like that. I like the sound of it.
Larry Rowley.
All right, thank you. I appreciate the council president, vice president. We appreciate everything that you do in the city, and I appreciate the invite tonight. What I wanted to talk about is what's coming up in this Mardi Gras season, and we know the Fools had a great event this past Saturday night, and it was a great event. It was well attended. It kicks off the Mardi Gras season. We love that. So that being said, yes, I am the captain of the crew of Boga Flyer. And as you know, the crew has really grown over the years, and we're really, really happy that our business community and our community in general has now really loved this event over the last few years. So we really do feel really, really good about the future. So that being said, I'm going to just go through just a couple of things really quick. It shouldn't take very long. Most of you probably know our Grand Marshal this year for 2025 is our Covington's own Lisa Condrey Ward. And I think she's going to make a wonderful Grand Marshal in the streets of Covington. She's given so much back to the community, so we're really excited about that. So we're going to start with Lundi Gras. And last year, as you know, we brought back a Covington historic event back to the city back in the 1900s. And we had that our Grand Marshal arrives on the river. And this year she will get off the river boat, and be presented with her sash for this year's Grand Marshal, and we'll second line to the Southern Hotel where the officers of the crew of Boga Flyer and also our mayor will go ahead and toast the Grand Marshal and have a great celebration. It's a king cake and champagne celebration in the courtyard of the Southern Hotel, open to the public. It's free to the public, so we want to make sure everyone is invited to that. We had probably over 2,000 people on a second line to the Southern Hotel, so we know we're going to probably have just as much, and as you know, with any type of event in the city, if it's a parade or any other event, weather has everything to do with it. So we're hoping for really, really, really good weather. So that being said, then after the mayor makes that toast and opens the city up to Mardi Gras Day, which everybody's going to be very happy about, the next day is the big day. Mardi Gras Day, which is March 4th this year, and obviously, as usual, the Covington Lions Club and the crew of Covington will kick off today, followed by the crew of Boga Flyer. And a little bit about what our group looks like right now, so you're ready to, when it hits the streets. Our title is Movies in Paradise, and we are going to have and feature 20 traditional floats in the street of Covington, 600 riding members strong, featuring this year's signature float. That is the St. Tammany Special. It's a train that went through the city in the early 1900s, Mayor? I think
It started about 1898.
Yeah. So a little history, and I know the mayor knows most of the history on that. That being said, so we're going to have a specialty float this year, so it's going to be called the St. Tammany Special, so we're really happy about that. We have 5 marching bands. It's very hard to get marching bands on Mardi Gras Day. We want Covington High, we want St. Paul's, but the parents want them to enjoy Mardi Gras, which we totally understand. So we have to go outside the area to get these bands. We have a band from Baton Rouge. We do have a band from Mandeville, Bogalusa, Mississippi, and New Orleans coming here to the city. Also, we have 12 marching groups, and again, some surprises along the way. We'll also have the St. Superfans, which will be on a float by themselves. John Deere, it will have a float, and this year's parade will feature LSU football players on it, so I think that's really special too. So that being said, that's pretty much a recap of what our parade's going to look like this year. And then the after-parade event at the trailhead, it's a growing event, free event, open to the public. We'll have a nice food cart there. Soul Revival will be the entertainment. It starts at 1 o'clock to 4 p.m. And again, we'll have several food trucks out there. And one thing the public probably does need to know, our map for the actual route is not the Olympia map, how it loops around back down Boston and Columbia and then that way. It obviously starts at the Justice Center, but it also just ends at the Justice Center on the opposite way. So when it goes down 23rd, it takes a left, and then it'll end that way because it's a longer day with three organizations. So at this time, I would like to thank the City of Covington for all they do for Mardi Gras Day now. We are a destination, you know, for the public, either on the South Shore or on the North Shore, to have a choice to go to New Orleans, Metairie, and now Covington. We're a definite destination. I think the crowds last year showed that it's a true destination now. But I want to thank the mayor, the administration, the council. Thank you for everything y'all have done. From now to years ago to really support this organization, and we appreciate that. Special thanks to Sarada and Josh. They do so much to put these events on, like the Trailhead event, and all the city personnel that helps Public Works, the fire department, the police department, and everything they do. So I appreciate the opportunity to speak on behalf of this organization. And that being said, happy Mardi Gras to everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Larry, let me tell you, thank you for your leadership on it. You had a great event
My
at the
pleasure.
Southern Hotel announcing the Grand Marshal. And if anything could be built upon, last year showed what a success it was. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a great day. And I think the mayor has confirmed the weather's going to be great.
Oh, yes, indeed.
So we're gonna have a good time.
Now, the weather next week is a whole different ball game. It's going to be really cold, so.
And if I could add, if you don't mind, the second line from the Bogaflaya River, from the boat launch to the Southern Hotel, it's really what gets Mardi Gras Day rolling.
I like the sound of that. I appreciate that.
Well, I wouldn't do that.
Anyway,
Any other-
really, thank you for letting
Any
me
other
have an
council
opportunity
comment?
to talk about it. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you very much. I do have a 6:30 meeting. It's a Mardi Gras meeting, so I'm going to have to leave at this time. I better get rolling to it. But thank you. No, really, happy Mardi Gras. Thank you to city personnel, everything they do. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, under our consent calendar, we have the regular meeting minutes of December 10th, 2024. And we also have introduction of item number 2025-01-01, which is an ordinance of the City of Covington to amend the 2025 operating and capital budget. I need a motion to accept the consent calendar.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Stanga,
Yes.
Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
Councilman Inman,
Yes.
Councilman Burrell,
Yes.
Councilman Botsford,
Yes.
Councilman Verret,
Yes.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes.
Under the regular agenda, unfinished business, I would like to point out and put for the record that item number 2024-12-01 that was previously introduced at the December 10th, 2024 council meeting has been withdrawn. Items for discussion under unfinished business is none, so we will move on to new business. Items to be voted on, resolution number 2025-01, a resolution of the Covington City Council for the appointment of an assistant city attorney for labor and employment matters. I would assume that administration
Sure.
and/or city attorney would.
So we've always had an employment attorney that works with us, specifically on civil service matters or any HR issues that we might have. That is not something that Rod specializes in. And Michael Weiner, who was that attorney, he retired at the end of December, and he highly recommended Amanda Plesha, who is here tonight. And so this is a resolution to appoint her as our employment attorney.
Would you like to come up and say a few words? Keep in mind that the vote hadn't occurred yet, so don't do anything to prejudice the vote.
It's a little hard to follow the fun of Mardi Gras, so I'll try to be brief. Good evening. As Erin said, my name is Amanda Plesha. I'm a partner at Blue Williams Law Firm. We have locations at Blue Williams in both Metairie as well as Mandeville and Houston for whoever needs a Texas attorney. So I handle employment law matters as well as civil service law matters for several private clients as well as public entities. Some of those include Mandeville. I advise their civil service board on their matters, represent the city of St. Bernard Parish, Jefferson Parish, also handle employment matters for the Causeway, and then some smaller West Bank fire departments as well. So do a good combination of handling their employment law questions, if they get sued, handle their EEOC claims, any litigation that they have in state or federal court, and then also representing them before civil service boards when they have employee appeals, and also helping guide them through, employee investigations, any day-to-day matters that they have, and also helping them, with Bill of Rights issues, the big one that we get for fire and police as well. If any of you guys have any questions for me?
Council, any public comment?
So let me add, so before I sent this to the council for consideration, Chief Farrell, Kimmy Duncan, and I had met with Amanda to see, if she would be a good fit, and we were very impressed with her experience, and we felt that specifically with the civil service background, this is exactly what we needed, so I highly recommend it. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. I need a motion to accept.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Councilman Roberts?
Yes.
Councilman Inman?
Yes.
Councilman Burrell?
Yes.
Councilman Botsford?
Yes.
Councilman Verret?
Yes.
Councilman Lewis?
Yes.
Councilman Stanga?
Based
Yes.
on the vote, would the city attorney like to say a few words?
Just to comply with the terms of the charter, which provides that the city attorney appoints assistant city attorneys, I'm happy to appoint Amanda Plesha as our assistant city attorney.
Welcome aboard. Items for discussion, none. We will begin with District 8 comments. Councilman Lewis.
All right. First, I want to give a shout out to the police department. I think everyone saw the stats recently. Great job. I know it's been a long time. We've been, stabbing at bringing those numbers down and making change. So thank you guys. We appreciate it a lot. Of course, Public Works. I know you guys working hard all the time. Secondly, I want to give you guys an update on our upcoming events for the MLK Week of Service. We did have some changes due to a lot of miscommunication. Everything will still flow as planned. The only difference is for the parade, we will not be having floats, but we will still have the march and the normal parade that we have yearly. So starting off on Monday, of course, we will have the dedication and reflection, the poster and essay contest at the Furman Auditorium, and then the luncheon at the Butterfly Hall. On the 22nd, we will be doing a community cleanup at the Bochita Association Memorial Park at the community garden. On the 24th, we will have our gala at the Butterfly Hall. It starts at 7 p.m., and that will be the first of this year. So we're looking for a good turnout. Of course, everybody is welcome to participate. On the 26th, we'll have our Unity and Worship at Greater Starlight Baptist Church at 9 a.m., and then at 3 p.m., there's a gospel concert at Mount Pilgrim Baptist Church. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, and I want you guys to know that a lot of work has gone into this. So it would be great to see a good turnout. If you guys cannot come, we understand, but just share it. So we hope to see everyone there.
Thank you. District B.
So all's moving forward really well in District B as we're moving to carnival season. I also like to congratulate Chief Farrell and the Police Department as encouraging. The statistics on the crime reduction is just outstanding, so I appreciate that. And I think it's good too that we let our citizens know, what a good job is going on to do that. So it's a good comparison to come down with. I'd like to call out, I was over at City Hall this week, talking to some utility billing with Letitia Weber and Raven Mitchell. They were just phenomenal in explaining all the complexities to me and more than I ever wanted to know about how utility billing works. But it certainly helped me out in addressing some concerns. And so they are very, very good. So please give them my kudos for that. I'd like to call out also coming up this month with Keep Covington Beautiful. The 25th is Arbor Day. So the Keep Covington Beautiful will be giving away tree seedlings at the farmers market, 25th of January, 9 to 12. So you can go over and get that. And other than that, I did have a question that one of our fire trucks was involved in an accident. Do you know what we're doing is it still operational?
So the fire department has an insurance policy that is specifically for them, so we're looking at what the damages are right now, and I think we're going to be able to make that claim.
Are we one truck down right now, or?
I can't answer that question, but I can find out and shoot you an email.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. District C.
Yeah, I can be pretty brief. Everything is good in District C. I don't know how to word this, but I come home every now and then, see somebody getting pulled over for speeding. That's never good, but it is at the same time, so kudos to you guys. I can only say it so many times, slow down, and there's stop signs, pay attention to them. Other than that, it's the law. I would be remiss if I didn't say the name Betty Brock tonight. We lost Betty Brock, and I'm sure a lot of us can tell a Betty Brock story, but she's just a shining light that I hope she rests easy. And just a moment for Betty, please. Thank y'all. And then I tried to, in my other job, I tried to rent a facility through the Covington website. I got on there and I hit the calendar, and it was literally like completely booked up. And where I was like, man, now where I'm going to go, the other part was, oh my God, we're that busy. Amazing, like amazing job of what we do with facility rentals, specifically the firehouse. So kudos to Victoria for doing what she does with that, because that's an amazing opportunity for us and a perfect venue. If you're ever looking for someplace, it's tough to get in, but get in when you can, because it's a perfect setting. And other than that,
Thank you, sir.
yes, sir.
District D.
Okay, real quick, Jefferson, obviously it's a major thoroughfare for our parade routes, but there's also quite a few schools on both sides of 21st, so be mindful of the speeding. I do know that Public Works was looking into some potholes and whatnot that are near some of the schools on the northern side of 21st. So that should be addressed. That'll help out with parent pickup. Speed data collection, yeah, those requests are in, and I know that we've been very busy with that. Putting out delineators and speed bumps, including a new one on 15th. So if you're going down 15th and pretending it's the 15th Avenue freeway, and you hit that speed bump, you're probably going to get some free dental work. So I prefer that not be the case. So slow down. Let's see, locally at the library, January 17th and 31st, but really the 17th, they're doing a weatherization assistance program. That's getting your house ready for the cold, and that's probably a good idea given what we have coming up this next week. I'm sure our first responders will be focusing on public safety, in addition to keeping our community safe. In terms of criminal activity and fighting fires when we're not having fire trucks hit by oncoming traffic. Look, they're also checking on our elderly. They're checking on our really needy population. So kudos to them. And Public Works, they have a never-ending list, and then emergencies pop up. I know on 11th we had a tree that went down, and Public Works was there, CLECO was there, our police department was there coordinating off traffic. So again, we have all of that going on, and oh, by the way, when you have this cold weather coming in, well, they have to do some preparation for that as well, trying to put sand down on some bridges, et cetera, so there's a whole lot going on, and last but not least, kudos to the administration for monitoring all of this, keeping everybody up to date, and, well, just managing the three-ring circus that is, you know, a crazy weather event that we could be seeing on Monday or Tuesday. And that's it.
Thank you, sir. District E.
All right, well, my fellow councilmen did a great job of updating everyone on what's happening in the city, so District E, all is well. Similar to the other districts, you know, speeding is a concern of the constituents, and so we are monitoring that and coming up with speed mitigation solutions. So everyone, just like they said, mind your speed. Happy 2025, happy Mardi Gras, everybody, and thank you to all the city employees and everything else. Thank you.
Good stuff. Councilman at large.
All right. Remember, to shop local, we got the farmer's market on Wednesdays at the Trailhead, and then on Saturdays right over here behind the council chambers. This thing that happened in the French Quarter with for the Sugar Bowl, I think one of the biggest things I took away from that is, you know, even our Mardi Gras, you know, we should all be safe. We live in a very safe town, but the saying, you see something, say something. You know, so just kind of everybody be on the lookout for anything that's out of place. I was going to talk about the weather. Just remember those silly signs that we all read that says bridges ice before the roads, because that's what they do. And I'm sure Public Works will be out there working in that. The North Shore Food Bank, total households for December were 1,072. The average households per day were 89 per day. Total boxes they gave out was 1,244. Average boxes per day, 104. So their numbers are up a little bit. The Trim the Trailhead with their Christmas trees was a huge success for them. It was great for their fundraiser. It's great for the community. Just a lot of fun. Then they also wanted to mention the YMCA. The YMCA has a membership thing. If you bring in 10 cans, they're waiving the membership joining fee. So that's a great thing for them to, you know, kind of kick hunger in the butt there. North Shore Food Bank has, you know, a great appreciation of the council too. They asked me to tell you guys thanks for everything that you do and supporting them. They distributed for the year of 2024 13,000 food boxes. That's amazing. They reached 4,750 individuals in need and provided nearly 1 million pounds of food. That's amazing and sad at the same time. So they said, you know, thank everybody for all that we've done. The most needed items for January are applesauce, canned spinach, canned carrots, canned chicken, grits, instant potatoes, and cooking oil. And my last thing I want to talk about was Porch Fest. Porch Fest was a huge success. We raised $10,455 for the Hope House. And what that does, that's enough to put 12 children through the program. And they presented this to me, and I wanted to share this with the council because it just means so much, and this really means a lot. This was a five-year-old that just completed the program. And it's like, and you see that hand, that's just what we do. Thanks to the council for supporting Porch Fest. Thanks to the police department, Serrata, amazing as always. Helped out a lot. Moose Bullet, another one, helped me out really a lot this year. But everybody, like I said, this is why we do it. And thank you all. Thank you.
Good stuff. It was a nice presentation of the Covington Business Association, and I saw on social media their thankfulness for it all. So, you know, one more example of the good that we do. Speaking of the good that we do, it may be some of the bad, but it's fun, is the St. John Fools and Misrule. You can safely eat carnival cake in Covington. That we have announced carnival season to the North Shore. By all accounts, it was a heck of a lot of fun. And so a shout out to all of our players, right? City administration that helps, public works, public safety. We have good events here and we have safe events here. And I think that's important to note, piggybacking off of Keep Covington Rolling. Shout out to the Covington Heritage Foundation because it is the first of the year and you will hear me say that it's time to get those memberships in. We have our April 5th Farm to Table. We have our October Whisperings event, which is going to be bigger, and the December History and Holly Tour. You have to be members to participate on many of these. So we're going to come up with a different idea, something a little fun. July 26th, put it on your calendar. A lot of thinking caps were on about where does the history of Covington, what would be the epicenter? And the Columbia Street Landing, of course, was so instrumental to our city. So we're going to do a celebration down there. And we're going to have people dressed in costumes. We're going to have a steamship captain and people bringing their goods to the landing. We're going to have some music, and we're going to maybe have a cigar roller or two. And we're going to enjoy it and the celebration of the legacy of the landing. And I think that's a pretty good thing. So with that, I will turn it over to city administration. I understand on Facebook there's been reports of children with flags up and down Columbia Street in Boston. There may be some kind of announcement in that regard, that if you are to cross a street, you must take a flag. Is there any truth to that rumor?
So, I was not expecting that question, but with that being said, I wrote an e-blast a couple of weeks ago about crosswalks to heaven. And in that e-blast, I detailed the experience of one of our leading citizens, Tim Lantrip, crossing Boston Street. Someone going through a caution light, making a left turn, hit Tim. He flew down the street, crashed his skull against the road, was bleeding out in the street, ICU, and in Tim's words, Tim died. He was in ICU, outer body experience. His father came to get him, and he told his father, "No, Dad, I'm not ready to go. I love Covington too much." Those are Tim's words. And Tim said he would resume back into his body and went back into his comatose state. And today you can see Tim at the English tea room. As he said, he died. And in that moment, an incredible bright light came into the room. And in colors Tim says he's never seen before. And then the bright light faded out of the room as he returned to life. We have a problem on Boston Street, and we have a problem with, it's a state highway. We have cars crossing it. And as I said in that particular e-blast, when I was growing up, Mom said, before you cross the street, look both ways. Crossing Boston Street, that's not sufficient. You have to look left, right. You have to look directly across from you at oncoming traffic. And most importantly, you have to look behind you to see if there's a car making a left turn into your crosswalk. We have signs that say yield to pedestrians. Signs don't work. People looking at their cell phones don't notice. People trying to make it through a caution light don't see. And there's actually something that happens when you're making a left turn. That frame of your door and your windshield can actually match up exactly with a pedestrian crossing the crosswalk. And I've had that happen when I'm turning, and all of a sudden I'm driving the front end of my vehicle into a crosswalk, and there's a pedestrian there that I never saw. Ben Guidry, one of our residents, having read that e-blast, emailed me and sent me a link, and he said, "Hey, there's a lot of places, they got these little orange flags. And you pick the little orange flag up when you walk across, and you wave it to gain the attention of the drivers so that they see you." Seemed like a pretty inexpensive, reasonable request, so we're trying it. We'll see what happens. Mark the dog walker sent a voicemail. "Thank you, Mayor," and I thank Ben, He said it makes such a difference. He walks every day. He walks many miles. He crosses Boston Street, and he takes his life in his hands as he does so. And so now he uses the little orange flag. So we can joke about it and we can kid about it, but I've learned, and I told the story in E-Blast on the crosswalks. I was driving a rental car in San Francisco. I was 33 years old. Everyone started waving their arms and screaming and cursing at me. I said, what happened? Mark, you just drove through a crosswalk with people in it. I said, what's a crosswalk? I was from Covington. We didn't have crosswalks. We have them now. So we're trying the little orange flags. Like all of the speed mitigation devices and things that we try, we always just put them there. We see if it works. If we like it, we keep it. We're flexible. If it doesn't work out, we'll get rid of it. But for now, yes, we've got the little orange flags crossing the streets.
And that's why I wanted to take advantage of the opportunity, since we didn't know about it, and I get calls and it's on Facebook. We have a council meeting tonight so that you could explain.
Yeah,
that.
and I didn't realize it was even I apologize. I didn't even think it was a thing. Matter of fact, I was driving down Boston Street and I saw him and I said, oh, AT&T must be doing running some more cables. I had forgotten that we had even ordered them and installed them. So I had the same reaction. What are those? And I didn't know until I got the voicemail from the man. Oh, that's what those little orange flags are. And by the way, you authorized them. So, very good.
I have one question on that. So I've almost been hit quite a few times right there by Del Porto.
But I keep missing you.
I know. But I mean, honking at me, yelling at me, get out of the road. I'm like, the light just turned green. I'm going across. Just like you said. They may not have seen me or whatever. But I know that on Lee Lane, it's the only place that we actually have like the little crosswalk guy. You know,
Yes.
it's like it goes like
Yes.
that. Is there anything that maybe our DOTD liaison could talk to them about it?
May I quote DOTD?
Yes.
No.
No.
DOTD's answer to almost everything that we request is no. Their mission is very specific, to move traffic on state highways.
Right.
It's not the drainage on either side of the highway
Yeah.
unless it affects the traffic on the highway, and it's not crosswalks. We investigated a crosswalk at Columbia, because that would be the next logical place.
Yes.
It would require a bump out, engineering studies, additional lights, giving up parking spaces, all of those things. I've moved on from the fact that the pedestrian has the right of way in the crosswalk. Pedestrian, beware. Drivers do not always do what they're supposed to do. And that's your head needs to be on a swivel, and I hate to say that, but that's the world we live in today. And you can just sit at the traffic signal and watch people looking at their cell phones
Oh, yeah.
over and over.
That's the epidemic.
Yeah, so the drivers need to be more, and I think the little orange flags may, if nothing else, increase the awareness of this problem. Because we're talking about it now, you ride by, you see the orange flags. Why do we have these little orange flags? Because you're at a dangerous intersection for pedestrians, and we're very fortunate that we haven't had more problems. To your point,
Yeah.
Like Del Porto, yeah, when you cross the street, you need to make eye contact with and I say this to the young ladies at St. Scholastica every year. When I talk to their General Assembly, they've got a crosswalk right there on Boston Street. Do not believe for 1 second that when you step into that crosswalk and you have the right of way that you are safe. You must look and see that cars approaching from both directions have seen you and that they are slowing down. Yeah.
Yep.
Good. We have we've talked about a lot about our cultural arts and events programs throughout the year. CBA and what they do with Porch Fest, Covington Heritage Foundation, History and Holly, Farm to Table. We have Chef's Soiree. We have St. Patrick's Day. We have the Celtic. On stage is the one event 4 times a year at the Furman Auditorium that is a paid ticket that you go to, and it usually means a little bit better, a higher grade of performer. Think somebody who would be performing in Las Vegas or perhaps on cruise ships. And this February, we're having a return performance by someone named Lynn Trefegzer. I can't say her name, Trefegzer. And she's a ventriloquist. but she's not your children's ventriloquist. She is been voted the funniest female performer by Campus Activities magazine. So think college level adult. Nothing really too off color, but certainly something that the last time she was here, many of us adults that were there really enjoyed it. That's coming up in February, and so I wanted to kind of throw that out because it's kind of a hidden little nugget that's going to be coming up. We all know about Mardi Gras, we know about St. Patrick's, we know about those things. So that's what I got.
Perfect. Miss Aaron?
No, thank you.
Well, that's kind of not the way I expected that to come in. You're welcome. Rod? Anything from the public? Happy New Year. We'll see you February 4th at our next meeting. Thank you.
I have not. You ready? Are you gonna be at this meeting?